Hello and welcome to Talking Music, where every song has a story. My name's Paul, and on this channel we like to come up with the facts, the information, the secrets and the stories about a well-known song. And the song in question today is this absolute classic, You've Lost That Loving Feeling, from the Righteous Brothers. Yes, a pop classic without doubt, and a transatlantic #1, and the song that was played more times than any other on American television and radio in the 20th century. The song was written by husband and wife songwriting team Barry Mann and Cynthia Weil after they were approached by Phil Spector, who was looking for a song for an act he'd just signed to his Phillies label, Bill Medley and Bobby Hatfield, known as the Righteous Brothers. Bill and Bobby had had a couple of other hits on a previous record label, and Mann and Weil listened to their sound for inspiration and decided on writing a ballad. The Four Tops song, Baby I Need Your Loving, was used as a kind of template for this song they were going to write, and the theme for the song would be about someone desperate to rekindle a dying love. Phil Spector got a writing credit for this song. He usually demanded one and got it due to his standing in the music industry. Cynthia Weil has said that he never really wrote songs, but inspired them. Make of that what you will. The title, You've Lost That Loving Feeling, was originally a working title by Mann and Weil. They always thought that they'd replace that line. It was Phil Spector who said the line was perfect. So that's the way it remained. It's hard to comprehend what Barry Mann and Cynthia Weil were thinking. I think Phil Spector showed good judgment there, and he wanted to introduce a bridge to the song, and all three worked on that famous Baby I Need Your Love bridge, which took the song to the chorus, Fade Out. Phil applied his famous wall of sound technique to the song, which was essentially making each sound bigger by double tracking and then again if needed. Phil had two world-class singers in the Righteous Brothers and set about getting the best session musicians available for this song. His vision was to make this song his best ever production and impress other top producers around the world like Berry Gordy and George Martin and Brian Wilson. Carol Kaye played acoustic guitar, Earl Palmer drums, Ray Pohlman on bass, and Cher, who had previously worked with Phil Spector, can be heard towards the end of the song in harmony vocals. Everyone working with Phil Spector had to fit in with his way of doing things, and some of his ways were groundbreaking. For example, he made all the musicians wear headphones so they could hear the way Phil was processing the song. Phil was also meticulous with his methods, which would become time-consuming. Bill Medley had produced some previous album tracks and had typically spent 30 minutes or so working on his vocals. The vocals for You've Lost That Lovin' Feeling took 8 hours. Bill said it was a tedious process singing the same song over and over, but it became evident that the more he did it, the better he was understanding the song and the better the vocal. Bobby Hatfield didn't actually think it was a Righteous Brothers song at first. He thought it more suitable for the Everly Brothers. The original guide vocal by Mann and Weil for the song was in a higher register and the tempo was faster. Phil Spector moulded the song around the Righteous Brothers sound and made it slower and lower. Bill Medley's baritone led the way, with Bobby Hatfield joining him on the chorus and the bridge. Phil Spector put time and money into this song. $35,000 it cost to make, and when it was finished he was happy but got concerned when others didn't share his enthusiasm. He played the song to co-writer Barry Mann, who thought the song was recorded at the wrong speed. Don Kirshner, whose opinion Phil Spector respected, said the song was good but the title was all wrong. Change it to Bring Back That Loving Feeling. And top disc jockey Murray the K suggested moving the bass line to the beginning of the song where it sounded dry. Spector heard these comments as criticism and got nervous. The co-writer, the co-publisher, and America's top disc jockey's opinions caused Phil Spector to get an ulcer, believing the song wasn't good enough to be a hit. On top of that, Murray the K had said the song running at 3:45 was too long for AM radio and programmers might not schedule it. AM radio in the US at that time was the best way to make a record a hit. Phil was a little devious, getting the record label to put the time down on the record as 3 minutes and 5 seconds. But this particular shakedown started to unravel when on-air radio timings started going awry. But by then the record-buying public had made up their mind about the song, and radio station listeners wanted their station to play it. The song certainly made its mark. Looking at the charts, it went to number 1 on February the 6th, 1965 on the American Billboard chart. It spent 2 weeks at number 1, and it took 9 weeks to make it to the top, and it ended up being the 5th bestseller of the year that year, 1965, behind the bestseller Sam the Sham and Wooly Bully. On the UK charts, it went to number 1 in the UK on the very same day, February the 6th, 1965, and again 2 weeks at the top. It was the Kinks' Tired of Waiting for You that would eventually knock it off, and it ranked as the 26th bestseller in the UK that year, which is quite surprising. You would have thought it would have been much higher than that. Tears, Ken Dodd was the bestseller, selling around 1.2 million copies that year. And the song was re-released again in the UK in 1969, reaching number 10, and again in 1990, reaching number 3. It went silver in the UK in 1965 on its first release, with 200,000 record sales. Now, irrespective of how many copies the song sold, its recognition was stellar. Rolling Stones manager Andy Oldham and a friend of Phil Spector said it was the most incredible song he'd ever heard. He'd never heard a song so emotionally compelling. When he was aware that a rival version by Cilla Black was racing up the chart ahead of the Righteous Brothers, he took it upon himself to run an ad in Melody Maker, one of the big record papers published each week, which said, "This advert is not for commercial gain. It is taken as something that must be said about the great new Phil Spector record, the Righteous Brothers singing You've Lost That Lovin' Feeling." Already in the American top 10, this is Spector's greatest production, the last word in tomorrow's sound today, exposing the overall mediocrity of the music industry. Signed, Andy Oldham. That very week, the Righteous Brothers went to number 1 in the UK, and Cilla Black's version dropped. It was Andy Oldham who coined the phrase, the wall of sound, which Phil Spector would register as a trademark. Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys rang Barry Mann and Cynthia Weil to say that your song is the greatest ever. I was ready to quit the music business, but this song has inspired me to write again. The tributes were highly positive for the song. It was epic, one of the best records ever made, the most erotic duet between men on record, a truly outstanding first line, and Spector's defining moment. The popular British TV pop show Jukebox Jury, where panellists gave their opinions on new record releases, had other ideas though, when all 4 panellists voted the song a miss, with one saying it's been recorded at the wrong speed. Lovin' Feeling was awarded Best Rock and Roll Recording in the Grammys and awarded Best Pop Single to date in a Billboard disc jockey poll in 1965. It ranked at number 34 on Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest of All Time, and in 2001 ranked at number 9 in the Best Songs of the 20th Century. It's been covered by virtually everyone. Cilla Black reached number 2 with her version. Elvis has also had a go. Nancy Wilson, Freda Payne, Long John Baldry, Hall & Oates, Neil Diamond, Dionne Warwick, Glenn Campbell, The Human League, among many, many more. Even Tom Cruise had a go in the film Top Gun. When the song was first presented to the Righteous Brothers, Phil Spector gave Bill Medley the major part, and Bobby Hatfield felt a little put out, saying, "But we always share the vocals. When we're on stage, what am I supposed to do when Bill's singing for all of that time?" Phil looked him straight in the eye and said, "You can go direct to the bank." In reality on stage, Bobby stood back in the shadows created by the production, which would then bring the light up on him when he joined in at the chorus. Anyway, it wasn't long before Bobby got his own song back when he took the lead on Unchained Melody, a song that would eventually prove a rival. Final thoughts, though, from Bill Medley.
It just was so great, especially in those days, to sing such a grown-up, strong, serious ballad. because we were kind of replacing Frankie Avalon, Fabian, all, you know, that kind of thing. I don't want to say bubble gum, but you know, that kind of thing. So this was a real powerful love song. So for me, I know that as a fan, if it would have been Jerry Butler singing it or something, I would have loved it. It was just a great song, and I'm very proud that they wrote this song for us.
That's You've Lost That Loving Feeling from the Righteous Brothers. And that's it for another one. This has been Talking Music, where every song has a story. Do subscribe to the channel now, as there are lots more videos where we get behind the song with facts, information, secrets and stories. All you've got to do is just click on the subscribe button below. It's absolutely free, of course. And I'll catch you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.